Hello and welcome to Smart World Education and the Buzz News Volume 20. So if you are not familiar with Smart World Education Buzz News, this is a newsletter provided on Substack. Just look for Smart World Education, or on LinkedIn, just look for me, Professor Dr. H.C. Jörg Mold, and then you can follow it also in the written storyline. So there are also the other issues. Smart World Education Buzz News is a short newsletter which goes up every time in AI or Bitcoin something is changing. So we keep you up with the today's Bitcoin prices and discuss why they are in that way. And on AI we make a model overview with changes and discuss this here also. This is a small form of the Daily Tech Intelligence Report, which you can see here also. And yeah, this is coming up often here, so check out our channel, subscribe and dive into the news. This is no buzz, no hype. These are the really news, and today from January 11, 2026. New text LLMs, large language models, what's happened in this world? In AI language technology today, major advances continue across both proprietary and open source models. Google's Gamma series, a family of lightweight open models by Google DeepMind, remains a cornerstone of open innovations, offering high-quality AI that can handle text and multimodal tasks while remaining accessible and transparent. For those who are not familiar with these terms, lightweight means you can install these technologies on laptops, on smartphones, wherever it is. So think about variants from ChatGPT, for example. There are also models you can download. That's what it means with these terms in that context. Another news is that Switzerland's Apertures, a fully open multilingual large language model trained on over 1,800 languages, highlights the increasing emphasis on sovereign compliant AI, aligning with European data and copyright standards. What does this mean? 1,800 languages. This is huge because other models, they have a lot of languages, but they have also a lack of pronunciation when it comes to using them by voice. So we tried it with French language, for example, and the accent is awful. You can barely understand what they are saying. In reading it's perfect, and in writing it's perfect, but not in speaking. And so Apertures goes different ways and supports also languages which are not common. But you have to know, aligning with European data and copyright standards is a little bit tricky because the US standards have a lot of rights to learn what you're writing and doing and track you. And this is the opposite side of the medal, but at least these developments underscore how the foundation of text-aware AI is diversifying globally, moving beyond a handful of closed systems to a broader, more accessible ecosystem. What's up in new vision, image and video models? Today's top multimodal developments show continued expansion of AI into visual domains. LTX2, an open source text-to-video foundation model from Lightrix, now powers creation of audio-visual content from text prompts with high resolution and frame rate output, bringing generative video into the hands of developers and creators everywhere. In combination with advanced language models, vision models like LTX2 illustrate how AI is shifting from text alone to rich visual storytelling and understanding, a key capability for creative and enterprise workflows. That means LTX2 is coming up with storytelling and understanding. Storytelling in one way, if you're running an enterprise, you need a storytelling to make people understand what your company is doing and what's the vision of your company. And on the other hand, understanding is a different way, because if an AI understands the behaviors of a company, an enterprise, business, it could model a lot of things around that and can build binaries. That's what they say when they say storytelling and understanding, a key capability for creative and enterprise workflows. what we have here is also major updates across all model families. The AI landscape isn't just about single models, it's about how they work together and integrate with applications. One such enabler is the Model Context Protocol, an open standard developed by Anthropic and adopted by leading labs that lets language models communicate more effectively with tools, databases, and external systems. In a short explanation, you have maybe seen that ChatGPT has now an app store where you connect to, for example, Booking.com, to music from Apple, or to Spotify to create voice lists. This works like that. You connect them and then you chat with them inside from ChatGPT. You chat with the apps. That's the difference in that. And here, when we're talking about Anthropic and something like that, they built a standard that enhances possibilities for other models than ChatGPT. So even Anthropic is with the models of his LLMs capable to do the same. That's what you have to understand in this news, and this is really nice because more and more become away from searching the web, but talking to websites directly or to a business owner in a way that we chat with them, and then we can create everything around booking something or whatever without having hours in front of the PC surfing websites, click to annoying advertisement and something more. This kind of interoperability standard will be crucial as AI becomes more embedded in devices, workflows, and enterprise systems. Yeah, that's what it is. Safety and regulation, let's talk about there. Global attention to safety and governance is intensifying with emphasis on transparency, ethical use, and risk management. While today's news cycle didn't bring specific new laws, broader regulatory momentum continues to push for clearer rules on how AI generates content, handles personal data, and integrates with high-stakes systems, echoing ongoing debates across governments and industries bodies. Let's have a look closer to that, what happens in the world actually. Governments want to have more access about the chats from users and want to prevent fraud and activities inside or crime. On the other hand, this restricts LLMs in the way how they can answer. For example, you can't talk in an open way and get all the answers from all the knowledge the machines got, and this is the world knowledge. It started with something, tell me how an atomic bomb is working and explain me how to dismantle this or arm a plane with atomic bomb or something like that. That's what's going on, and this is forbidden, and so we have a lot of restrictions. On the other hand, the more we restrict, the more we control the context. And yeah, China's DeepSeek lab just showed a system to train artificial intelligence in a way that they train the context, not the context between the tokens. So think about one sentence you say, the weather is fine, so you train the context, not each word. So then you say, okay, this content you brought in a question is right or not. So you control what an AI is giving out, and not the users and the guessing of words and then the attached context. In this way, it's upside down. It is trained on context. So when you have a special meaning, you got a specialized answer, and it can't go away from that because it is not trained to go for different contexts. And that's a big thing because you see China governments and other governments will likely control what you get for answers and what you have to think and what you have to accept. And this regulatory backdrop will play a major role in how foundation models are deployed responsibly in the real world. So what's on the front of open source and sovereign AI? Open source efforts keep accelerating, from the Gamma open model family that gives developers accessible AI capabilities to academic releases like LTX2 and multimodal video generation. The ecosystem continues to broaden. Open models support local deployment, research freedom, and digital sovereignty. letting organizations and governments maintain control of their AI infrastructure. What are the news industry and ecosystem trends? Big picture signals show AI becoming more integrated into global systems. Generative and agentic AI that not only responds to prompts but also performs tasks autonomously, is expected to unlock new market opportunities, especially for companies in rapidly developing regions such as India, where language and regulatory barriers have historically limited tech adoption. Business Insider's AI Power List highlights individuals shaping AI's future across infrastructure, research, ethics, and governance, emphasizing that AI's growth is not just technological, but also organizational and social. These trends point to an AI ecosystem that's growing not just in power, but in breadth and responsibility. Let's talk a little bit about automation systems, or what we call agentic AI. Actually, Ms. Manus, which is a system bought by Mark Zuckerberg for billions of dollars, could perform agentic AI. This means you have some processes. For example, a simple process is you have a form, and this form should be sent to an especially email address, and then an AI should give answers to the form, for example, in a help desk. Yes, you can create a workflow with that. You can do it with Make or other tools or Manus, and this works works good. Yeah, but it is not that difficult things. Manus can do a lot of difficult tasks in that thing, but on the other hand, why do enterprise companies not use that? Or what is about the acceptance of agentic AI? When you see software, ERM systems or whatever, you will likely see that they far away from that what agentic AI is doing actually. They have more complexity, they are more proven systems, and AI agentic is at a very beginner level. So yes, you can create it easily on your own if you're a startup, or you're not having the will and power to salaries for coders or something like that, or an army who is providing you with software. You can do it all on your own, and this is the chance for little companies to play big. Yeah, and they need automation in a way, so they can use all the tools, but do not think this is a wonder tool, for example. Yeah, if you think about systems like SAP or Oracle, they're much complexer and have to respond to more challenges than your own workflow created with such AI tools. So yeah, you have to do a lot of work around to create your flows, but at least you will see this is not a revolution. It's only the capability that you can now create workflows a little bit easier with help of AI and your language. That's all, and this is not what bringing jobs away. That's not which taking down the job market or something like that. It's actually it sounds really easy, but it's very, very tricky. Think about, you can really easily create websites and software, but if the AI has to look for errors inside, you have a lot of limitations, and you have to copy to paste to different LLM systems with different contexts and different coding skills. So you see your workaround is you taking up from a couple of hours to days to fulfill all that. And this is what I will tell you. It sounds nice, and if you see videos and you have teachers on the videos, they click there, they click there. They have all that be prepared before. So they have use cases prepared, and you say, wow, that's the easy way. But if you have a new use case and you're not firm with that software and you haven't got any experience in that, you will spend hours. Even if you are experienced like me, you will spend hours, because then you got more complex ideas, and then you see that the more complex ideas need workarounds. So don't think you save time. The only thing and the advantage of all this automation is, and even about vibe coding, yeah, you do not have to know anything about coding, but you have to spend the same time to get your idea really working and fix issues and errors. And this is something you have to know. Yeah, you have to invest time in all of that. Okay, let's go to the Bitcoin news and cryptocurrency markets. Morgan Stanley has filed for a Bitcoin and Solana exchange-traded fund, with the US Securities and Exchange Commission marking a significant move by a major bank into regulated digital asset products, potentially broadening institutional participation. That's what is a price driver. Did you, coming from the old times, or you remember the old times, what happens to all the ETFs? Actually, we haven't got a lot of ETFs, but a lot of Bitcoin ETFs. So the thing is, Morgan Stanley likely will get an allowance for a Bitcoin and Solana exchange traded fund, because you see, if you want to do something like an ETF in Germany, for example, you can't do that there because you need more than one asset in an ETF. And so Morgan Stanley's strategy seems to be that he can open also an ETF-like system in Germany, because then he has Bitcoin and Solana in that ETF. And yeah, we are thinking that this could happen. And it's more a sign about that the financial world has taken over the cryptocurrencies. Once they have been meant to be financial diversity and let people empower them on their own money, and you see greediness has changed that into something where people are willing to follow rules, do KYC, and they are more, I would say, more controlled. In other words, this is nothing totally different from stock markets. It's only a different topic, but you do not really have to know something about cryptocurrencies to do trades like on the stock market. So if you're firm with stock markets, and if you're firm with that, cryptocurrencies, exchanges or ETFs are an easy way to trade with these things. But as it is in the world, if you haven't got any clue from markets and price movements and anything, be careful. You should just gamble with money. You do not worry about if it is lost. Yeah, and this is a fast way to do in cryptocurrencies, and it's a fast way also on the stock markets, actually. Yeah, but Bitcoin's price has been trending around the $19,000 level as traders await key macroeconomic data and policy decisions that could impact market sentiment. Recent market dynamics also include re-evaluation of how digital asset companies are classified in major equity indexes, a story underway with MSCI's pause of an exclusion proposal that would have impacted Bitcoin-heavy firms. These developments reflect a crypto environment increasingly shaped by institutional trends, regulatory clarity, and macro expectations. Yeah, when we talk about classified and equity indexes, that's a way, if you have such indexes and you are classified by regulations, that means the regulators can easily look up which kind of asset you're trading. And that's, I would say, a tricky thing, because if a financial market is crashing, you can't easily take your cryptocurrency as a substitute for your money system, because then you are not able to exchange your cryptocurrencies into fiat back. And for real, all the cryptocurrencies haven't got, I would say, that macroeconomic and the infrastructure like Bitcoin. And this reflects what happens actually. Yeah, and people are on the financial markets with their crypto. So don't think about that crypto as something very new and different, and blockchain technology is something which we will see adopted in use cases, and then the crypto coin will grow because of that. It's only, I would say, an asset to exchange value. Yeah, it is nothing more than you see like a stock or something like that you can deal and trade with. But there is no, I would say, broader sin behind. So they are used for, blockchains are used for DeFi exchanges and something like that. Okay, we have smart contracts, but actually all that is, except some Web3 use cases, used for financial services like we have in traditional stock exchanges. Yes, see, it's only a little bit different from that, but the business is business as usual. This is banking business, this is financial business. That's the world of our financial system all around the planet. The exception what cryptocurrencies should reach one day is not fulfilled. It's now a financial instrument. Yeah, Bitcoin price movement and explanations. Let's talk about that a little bit. As of the latest readings, Bitcoin is trading near 90,000 with volatility influenced by broader economic signals and trader positioning. By the price moves today, macro headlines, we will look for anticipation of US jobs data and a Supreme Court ruling on tariffs is influencing risk asset pricing, including Bitcoin. Institutional flow dynamic, large filings like the Morgan Stanley ETF application create demand expectations, but flows are still balancing profit taking and fresh inflows. And for an investor sentiment, market participants appear cautious ahead of economic news, resulting in range-bound trading near key support levels. Simply take away, Bitcoin's recent price action reflects a mix of macroeconomic uncertainty, institutional positioning, and profit-taking behavior, a common pattern when markets await new catalysts. So let's do a little summary for the end of this video. Today's technological landscape shows AI expanding in text, vision, and multimodal reasoning, supported by standards and open ecosystems, while Bitcoin markets mark ongoing institutional engagements and macro-driven price dynamics. I hope you enjoyed our buzz news today, and look out for volume 21 next time. We will continue to post here, and check out LinkedIn, Substack, Facebook, and Instagram for Smart World Education. See ya, have a nice day, and bye.